Every day, billions of people connect through calls, texts, and emails. And behind each conversation is a Twilio API that powers it.
With Twilio's APIs, we can build powerful communication tools with just a few lines of code.
But the power to send messages at scale comes with great responsibility.
In Liftoff messaging, you'll learn to send messages across SMS and WhatsApp.
With Liftoff Voice, we'll help you build voice applications from simple call centers to full-service contact centers.
Liftoff Email will show you how to create engaging campaigns that land in the inbox.
And in Liftoff User Authentication and Identity, you'll learn how to keep your users' accounts secure.
Each Liftoff video gives you production-ready code examples and real-world applications. Welcome to Twilio Liftoff.
Oh, hello there, everybody, and welcome to the Twilio Liftoff email watch party. My name's Andrew. I am so excited to be back with you again for another Friday at 12 Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. I know it's the best place you are on the internet right now if you are here. If you have no idea where you have stumbled upon because the internet just brought you here, you have arrived at a watch party. We're going to be celebrating the launch of Twilio Liftoff and Learn SendGrid email today here on the Twilio Devs Twitch channel and YouTube channel. You can join us in both locations, or you can just be here on one of these locations. But the important thing is that you're here and checking out and hanging out with us, the Twilio Devs community. Now, last week, if you were here on the channel, you will know that it was just a little old me that was here. But if you maybe received an email about this, or you had sort of been informed that there would be some famous people that were going to be appearing on the stream, don't worry, I am here for you. I bring the famous people to life here on stream. Let me bring one of the stars of the Twilio Liftoff series onto the stage. Alex, how are you doing, sir?
I'm famous now? Sweet.
Absolutely. In the world of Twilio Liftoff, you are as famous as you could be. I mean, I don't know, who is between you, Bianca, Sarah, and behind the scenes Brent? Who do you think is the most famous?
Hands down Brent.
Oh, all right.
I mean, man, he's got a robot. Like a robot persona. I don't have one of those.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, there's still time. Well, Alex, I'm very excited to have you with me today because you, unlike me, have been part of the Liftoff series from before it was even Liftoff.
Yeah.
And so trivia for those who are watching in chat, what was Liftoff originally called?
And no answers from Twilions.
No answers
or
from
well,
Twilions.
no answers from Twilions who worked on this. So basically no answers from the chef.
All right, I'm gonna grab and turn down this music. I thought it was high for me, but it's often, there we go.
Yeah,
a little bit better.
That's good.
That's better. Yeah, so in chat, what do you think that Liftoff was called before it was Liftoff? And you can have the exact wrong answer. Just throw something in chat. What do you think it was called? It was called, if you think that it was called the Alex Power Hour, you're close. It was nearly called that. That was in the
not
running.
far off. I'll start dropping some hints. The last person to, like, the people who did it before we made this were Emily Shenfield and Craig Dennis were the last people to run this.
Ooh, so there you go.
There you go.
Now, I love it. We got some hints in there while we're doing that. If you're seeing in chat, I've been having this weird issue with my camera where it's been like doing these like weird lines. If you're seeing that, are you seeing that, or is that just me?
Yeah, we're seeing that.
It? That's so strange. It's not important. You're not here to see me today. So it's good to know, though. I got to fix this because there's definitely something going on. It's probably because I, have my camera running for like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like it's just constantly on, which is probably not the best.
Chef Brent's close. He said amazing course.
Oh,
it was pretty
very
amazing.
Close. So if you don't know this and you want to look into some historical stuff, go and look up Superclass. So Superclass, so Liftoff is sort of the spiritual successor to Superclass, as it were. But if you go on to YouTube, you can like look up Superclass and you'll find some stuff of different Twilions over the years who have done Superclasses, and we'll sort of give you an idea of kind of where this came from. So, Alex, I don't know if you were here for our last watch party, but if you weren't, the flow is pretty smooth. So we're gonna pull up in just a second. We're gonna pull up our Liftoff video. We're gonna start it playing. You and I are gonna live up in the upper right-hand corner of this screen, and we're gonna kind of mute ourselves and then unmute ourselves. Like we'll do hard mutes on our hardware, and then we can unmute ourselves to like stop and pause the video and give feedback. So I think you've got control to like control the video. Do you have back behind the scenes controls? I actually know. Okay. So like if there's a spot where you want to like pause the video when it's up on the screen, just like pause it and add something in. The only feedback that I got last week was, Andrew, you talked too much. You paused it a couple too many times, but that's what I'm paid for. So I'm going to take that as a compliment and say,
yeah, little did you know when Andrew signed his contract, he doesn't get paid by the hour. He doesn't get a set salary. It's actually paid per word.
So it is.
Yeah.
You don't believe that? I'll show the contract. I'll bring it on stream. The receipts, or it didn't happen. So fun fact, my dad's favorite thing, my father, who is a like actual like minister, stand up on the stage, do sermons and talk for hours, literally said to me, Andrew, there is you are the person that if there is like 5 words to say something, you will say 500. And I was like, thanks, Dad. Thanks.
I'm going to tell a really random story. I've worked with some different kinds of characters throughout the years. There's this one guy who I worked with, and he's amazing. He was a real mentor. He was really like very thoughtful in what he did. But one of his hobbies was reading famous books and trying to get the first chapter as short as possible. And he would do iterations and take like these, huge books, and like the first chapter would be like 3 lines. And I'm like, it was just like a habit of his, like a hobby. He just like really enjoyed that. You're the opposite. I appreciate that.
Listen, I like to deliver a little bit of flavor everywhere that I can go. So also, Alex, I just want to call out, you're wearing an awful nice track jacket there, sir.
I saw you had it on and I was like, oh,
so
let me rock this.
I'm like not a huge fan of uniforms. One day I'll pull up, like, I definitely love uniforms, but every time I put this on, I'm like, I feel like I'm putting on my Twilio uniform and I'm going to work. And the rest of the time I'm just sort of like having fun. Although yesterday, as I was like building out that new startups page, I was like, this is the thing, like just like building things. I was like, I missed this. Like I was having to troubleshoot, like I was having to do, we're going to get into the stuff that you came here for, chat, don't worry. But I was having to learn how to use ES Build in a GitHub Pages Jekyll environment. And it was like this like weird setup. And I was like, I freaking love this. And it was such a good time. So I always miss building when I haven't done it for a little while.
It's been a minute for me too. One day I'll get back into it.
We're gonna get back into it. So if you're just arriving, because I know we got a couple of people that are just dropping in, we're gonna start watching our Twilio Twilio Liftoff email course. We're gonna be chatting about it. Put your questions in chat, feedback, comments. Like we're here for you. Like we're not just here to kind of, it's not the Alex and Andrew show, although AA does sound like a pretty sick name for a show. Just saying, A/B testing, great. AA, AAA, You can get quadruple A. Anyways, we're going to get started in just a second. So throw your comments, questions in the chat, and we're going to record this afterwards. So if you want to come and see our awesome faces again after this, you will be able to find us. So let's get this up on the stage. I will note, and Chef Brent's going to come for me. It is the version that I downloaded that is in the drive, which still has the like original branding on it, but we're just going to pretend that nobody from brand is going to notice that we're playing that version. And I kind of fast forwarded it a little bit. So let's get started. Let's kick things off. I'm going to get us into the corner. Add to stage.
Hi there, I'm Bianca, and I'm here.
Oh, nobody even saw it. Hi, Bianca. Let's move Alex and I up here. Oh, we're not big enough. We're too small.
We're tiny.
We're tiny. I'm going to fix that. I really like how StreamYard has actually made this a lot easier. Let's get us a little bit bigger and then, oh, really? Oh, what? I see what we're going to do. Okay. So you're not seeing this. Center left. Okay. I want to go right. And then I'm going to make us smaller. And then
live.
I love that you're
live
not seeing,
StreamYarding.
Nobody's seeing any of this, but it is incredibly impressive.
They're seeing us.
Right now. Oh, there we go. I figured it out. No, they're not seeing us as I'm like doing all this work.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to update
layout.
The scene.
There we go. Look at that. Beautiful faces. We're fantastic. We could play the stickers on Bianca. There's not enough stickers there. All right. I'm going to turn off the background music. Just because we don't need it anymore. And we're gonna just kind of hang out. We'll hard mute and unmute ourselves as we kind of go. Alex, you got power to kind of pause and unpause. So.
I have all the power.
All the power. All right, and chat, if you want us to pause somewhere and talk about something, you let us know too, because we're also here for you. All right, so over to you, Bianca.
Here to teach you about the SendGrid email API. You might be saying to yourself, I already know about email. I check it every day. It's a few taps away on my phone, and it's always open on my laptop. What we're going to talk about is different than figuring out the best labeling strategy to keep the conversations in your email inbox organized, or how to stay at inbox zero.
Does anybody use labeling strategies like really well on their email inbox? Like I try, but then it always falls apart.
I tried. It's never worked. The one that I saw that I thought was the coolest is I think on Gmail, you can like put a plus after your email address and it'll still go to you.
Yes.
And you can like pre-label things. But I never got around to actually doing that.
Yeah. You can actually create backup accounts too. So if you want to create an account and you want it to always go into that subfolder, you can like sign up for like your email plus like Twilio, and then it'll always auto sort into like the Twilio folder.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff you can do there. My inbox is just garbage, and I'm so ready for AI to fix it all. But we'll get there one day.
True that. All right, sorry for interrupting you, Bianca.
I struggle with that. We're going to talk about the infrastructure behind your inbox. Behind your inbox, there's a whole ecosystem of ones, zeros, APIs, and beautifully architected code at work to get your emails to you. And that same ecosystem also works to make sure your inbox is a peaceful place. It filters out emails that are less wanted or less relevant to you and your needs. When you put that ecosystem under a microscope, you'll see that it's full of activity. It's full of large and small businesses, email inbox providers like Gmail and Yahoo, and more. Templates, IP addresses, marketing automation, and tools that help emails get to where they're supposed to be going.
I really miss Hotmail.
If you don't know what to look for, it can all seem a bit overwhelming. But luckily, we know a few email experts that can show you what to look for and how to be a part of the stellar email ecosystem. That's all to say, email is a complex and wonderful world that stretches far beyond your inbox. In this Liftoff tutorial, we're going to teach you how to master the ins and outs of Twilio SendGrid email API, so you can send marketing or transactional emails at scale. So what exactly is the SendGrid email API? How does it help?
I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who was like, oh, I've never used a Twilio product. And I was like, oh, have you used like Segment? And they were like, no. And I was like, have you used SendGrid? And they're like, yeah, I love SendGrid. And I was like, boom, Twilio product.
There's also the side of like, have you flown on an airplane in the last few years? Have you ever gotten a text? A lot of those come from us. Not all of them. I'm not going to say which ones, but like there's a few of them.
Have you ever gotten a text?
Have you ever gotten a text message not from your mother?
I mean, even if it was claiming to be from your mom, it could technically have been coming from
True.
Twilio.
If it was claiming to be from your mom, hopefully that person's not still on the Twilio.
Exactly.
Twilio, though. Hopefully we weeded that out.
I will say, if you received a message that said it was from your mom but wasn't from your mom, you should definitely check out our 4th installment in this series, which is going to be our Liftoff user identity and authentication. We talk about verify and lookup. So if you received a message from your mom that was not actually from your mom, that's the one to watch, or your dad, or anybody that was not expecting who you thought it was going to be. All right, back to you, Bianca.
Help you jump into the wonderful world of email.
This is what I did
We'll
last
explain.
time too. Just
First
kept
off,
pausing and talking
We'll
over
call it
Bianca.
the email API for short. We're on friendly terms with the API, so I think it's cool. Secondly, and simply put, the email API is a tool that businesses use to get their email from their organization to their customers at scale. So how does the email API do that? When you need to notify thousands of passengers about a sudden gate change or flight delay, every minute counts. You can't manually send individual emails one by one from the airline's customer service email. By the time you finish, passengers would have already missed their flights. When you're sending email at that scale to thousands of people and with that urgency, you need those notifications to be delivered instantly so passengers can make their connections and flights can depart on time. You need the right tool that's built for the exact needs you have to reach an audience via email, fast, efficiently, and at scale. SendGrid is kind of like the air traffic control system of email. It coordinates and manages the flow of thousands of messages smoothly and safely to their destinations. It's working 24/7, just like airline operations. That's where the email API comes in. The email API is the engine that businesses use to send critical updates out to their customers instantly, whether it's gate changes.
Yeah, I don't know, RJ. So you have to have, like, Alex will talk about it like later on in the video, but you do have to be able to control like DKIM records and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think you must be
I
able
have
to, but I'm not
no
sure.
idea answering that one. I'll peek, but I don't know.
Yeah, so this was just if you're watching and you're like, oh, what are these guys talking about? So the question was coming from RJ Pearson, but is SendGrid compatible with Apple branded mail? So one of the things you have to do with SendGrid is like, there's a bunch of records that you have to set up. And it's the same for any of these providers, which basically allow for you to kind of send from there. And like I've always required, like anytime that I've registered a domain somewhere, like it has to be like a domain that you own. And so I don't know, potentially, but not 100% sure. Apple expands tools up. Oh, there you go. RJ shared something there. So it may have become available. It's possible.
If I'm just looking Google search, the AI overview says Twilio SendGrid offers tools to help send branded emails to Apple Mail, including the Apple Open Indicator. But I don't know if that's the exact same thing.
Yeah, I feel like it would work to send to, but it's like if you wanted to send from, like if you had like an Apple Mail email address, like that's, I guess, the question. But I would assume. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a plugin for it, but I don't know if that's the same.
Interesting. We're going to look into it, RJ. We're going to look into it.
Delay notifications, or boarding passes. Whether we're updating passengers about their upcoming flights in marketing emails or sending them receipts for boarding passes in transactional emails, Twilio's email API helps businesses get critical communications to their customers reliably and fast.
So if you're wondering,
When you're
by the
looking
way,
at an email
the
in your
Twilio
inbox,
email
you're
API
looking at
is
a
the
finished
SendGrid
product.
email API. If
You're
you hear
looking at
them,
the
they're
proverbial
interchangeable.
smooth takeoff and landing. You don't see the pre-flight checks or the coordination that goes into delivering you that perfect travel experience. But that work is vitally important. The SendGrid email API helps businesses handle that crucial behind-the-scenes work. The email API gives developers the power to determine how their messages are assembled, what dynamic content and personalization to include, and when, where, and why they're sent. Additionally, the email API gives developers and airlines invaluable information that they can use to tailor their passengers' experience to their preferences. So if one traveler is constantly clicking on every international flight deal we send, then we can be sure to invite them to our premium loyalty program, or notify them of exclusive travel offers. Now that we have air travel on our minds and a good sense of what an email API is, let's talk about what we'll learn in this tutorial. We're going to learn the best way to send an email,
Oh no,
how to send
we're
and
hiding a
monitor
thing you're going to
emails,
learn. Don't worry.
how to handle
Don't
replies,
worry.
ensure deliverability,
You don't need to know the best way.
and leverage the data
You just
you
need to know the
glean
rest
from
of
your
it.
email sends. That's a lot to cover, so let's get started. To get your hands dirty, you're going to need a Twilio account. If you have one already, awesome.
The
If
animations
not,
in this
we
are
suggest heading to
so good.
Twilio.com
Like,
to create an account.
The production
We're going to
company that
need
we
one
use
to
to
test
do
our
these
code
is
and dive into
like
some of the
top
fun
tier.
features the email API has to offer. So we're trying to send an email. We know that it's our job as a sender to put together all the content we want to get out to our customers. It's Email API's job to package template content, code, custom variables, and send it off to the right recipient at the right time. Once the email package is processed through Twilio, it will be sent to the recipient's mailbox provider. And if everything goes right, and that's what we're here to make sure of, it will be delivered to our recipient's inbox. Turns out there's a whole lot more to an email than clicking send. A critical part of that successful email process we ran through happens long before we write any code. It happens during onboarding. Remember the email API's full name? It's a SendGrid email API. When it comes to onboarding, designing email, and reviewing the emails you send, all of that takes place within the SendGrid platform. So you'll want to log in or sign up for SendGrid to get started and follow along. Now that you're all logged in to SendGrid, you might notice a bar on the left-hand side of your screen that says Reputation, along with a score beside it. That score is not the official SendGrid review of Taylor Swift's 2017 album, Reputation. It's actually SendGrid's review of how you've been sending emails. For those unfamiliar, a reputation score.
It would be like amazing if there was an Easter egg that it actually was like there was like something, some key combination that you could press, like T, if you could do like T Swift on your keyboard, and then it just like showed your like reputation score in comparison. So like, are you higher or
lower than the reputation of
reputation?
I didn't even know it was a Taylor Swift album until we made this whole thing.
Bianca may be a Swiftie. I don't know.
She may be a Swiftie. We'll have to find out if she's actually a Swiftie. We little behind the scenes here, we do have writers that help us with this stuff. So some of the jokes are ours, and some of the jokes we have some other people that help us with. But yeah, but I don't know where that one came from.
Have we announced, by the way, your upcoming project? Is that out in the world yet, Alex?
It'll be out next week.
So there's something really exciting coming that does have some awesome jokes. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for more on that. Coming very soon.
My comedy special.
The Alex, I would watch it. I would watch that Netflix special.
It's all coding comedy. I actually I forget who it was, but it was either you. There's like these guys who like basically do stand up where they just like roast you told me about them, where they just like roast people in tech, and I'm like, oh, this is so refreshing.
It's so good. By the way, this is sponsored, not sponsored. Go check out Tech Roast Show. It's amazing. They were in Vancouver recently and I couldn't go, and they are in Seattle all the time. And I'm like, do I want to get a hotel room and the ferry just so that I can go and see these guys? Eventually I need to say yes, but it is hilarious. And if you work in tech, it's like everything that you experience. It's like Silicon Valley if it was a stand-up comedy routine. And
it's so real. Like they like the things they're roasting people about, you're like, yep.
100%. Absolutely. Exactly. Roberta Bull shows up.
Is a bit like a credit score. It's a reflection of how your granular habits all stack up together to form a score that indicates how trustworthy or reliable you might be when sending emails. And different inbox providers might give you a different score. But the score is based on behavior. If you're sending low-quality emails to customers en masse, and those customers are flagging your emails as junk, you're going to have a low
Google's
reputation
really
score.
bad
If you're
for
sending
this, so
high-quality
there's a lot of
emails to
stuff that won't go
customers
through to
in a
Gmail
careful
addresses that
cadence
just get
with valuable
marked as, like,
information,
spam.
you might have a higher reputation score. SendGrid takes the basic reputation score one step further. We use the SendGrid Engagement Quality API to give you an in-depth, high-def look at your email behavior. The SendGrid Engagement Quality API takes a look at your activity on the SendGrid platform.
I wish that had a
how
better
wanted your
acronym
emails are
than
by your recipients.
SECO.
The level of appetite your
Sequa.
recipients have for your emails is closely related to your deliverability rates. So SendGrid tracks the critical metrics like engagement, recency, unique open rates, bounce classification, and spam rate. It crunches all that data to show you how wanted your emails are. That's reflected in your SendGrid quality engagement score. The more you know about how your emails are performing, the more you can dial in on your best practices to boost deliverability rates and connect with your users. Speaking of those users, we should send them an email. But before we get to writing code and testing out this email API,
So again, another sponsored, not sponsored. There is this amazing app, and I'm going to find the name of it in chat, that basically transforms your emails into like a WhatsApp situation. So it's kind of like when you receive an email, it's not like you're having an email conversation, you're like having a chat conversation.
But I feel like that would be annoying if the other person didn't have that too.
So it looks like a standard email to them. So it just reads a standard email to them.
I like reply, like you might like reply 3 times in a row or with like really short ones.
Yeah, you're not like lol. You're talking to it. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Quick aside, I want to I don't have as cool of a setup as Brent where I can like, you can text the code, but I do want to match the background here. So got that going now.
Nice. I feel like I need to level up. I have a whiteboard in my background. I can draw on it. I feel like that's good. Does SendGrid have a block list opt out of email addresses similar to SMS? I believe so. I believe you're able to opt out through SendGrid directly if you're sending stuff there. But let me double check. We'll double check and we'll get back to you, RJ Pearson. But like pretty sure that you do have the opt out option.
you should have a few concepts down. Remember the airline we talked about a few moments ago called Owl Air? Well, that carrier's aviation expertise can teach us a lot about sending great emails. To have a great travel experience, you need to have great pre-flight systems in place before you take off. The same principle applies with email. Before you start sending, you'll need to know how the key components of an email, like your email send list, status tracking, reply handling, and deliverability, all impact your email operations. Let's start with setting up your email list and defining the content in it. So if we here at Owl Air know that there are 5,000 passengers that frequently fly out our international routes, we might want to let them know about this double miles promotion we have going on. How would we build out an email to send to them? We've already heard from our developers at Owl Air HQ that if they have to use tables or hard code an email from scratch again, they will go on strike. We have heard them loud and clear. That's why we switched things up and went to SendGrid. With SendGrid, you can use a tool called the Template Builder. The Template Builder gives developers all the control that they need to build dynamic emails without all the hassle of wrestling with less than stellar email software or putting a ton of manual effort into getting a template off the ground. With the Template Builder, you can use handlebars to build out templates. This makes populating emails with dynamic content a whole lot easier. You can use SendGrid's visual editor to build out templates fast and then dial them in as you like with your own custom code. So let's say we had one email template going out to our audience that loves domestic flights, and we wanted another template to use when we send emails to our audience that loves international travel. This template features more pictures of our international destinations.
What's going to happen when somebody inevitably comes out with an Owl Air
with SendGrid's
company?
email template
like there's
builder,
a literal Owl
we can
Air
flip
that
a
comes
switch
out? Like,
and
do we
switch
have to
from
pay
one
royalties
template
every
to
time that we
another.
mention
It's
them?
that simple.
No, because we came
that
first.
Powerful.
Ooh,
And most
there we go.
importantly,
I
we
feel
can
like we
control
probably do have a
everything about
trademark on it.
this
We
with
probably have
code.
like a trademark on
Odds
Owl
are,
Air.
the more personalized or tailored your content is, the better it will perform.
Maybe.
Imagine your
Maybe.
email like a conversation between you and a friend of a friend you were just introduced at a dinner party. Your conversation is going to go much more smoothly if you share a few of the same interests that are personal to you. Maybe that's a shared hobby or being fans of the same sports team. What matters is that the content of your conversation is personal to you both.
I really want that
The
coffee
best
mug.
emails not only
I
feature
don't-
content that
the
is
coffee mug
relevant
we
and
got
personal
is
to
like
the
a
recipient,
picture of a
they
coffee
also
mug on a
feature
coffee
dynamic
mug.
content that makes that email
I may or may
even
not have a
more
dozen of
bespoke.
those in my
SendGrid
closet.
has thousands of custom parameters you can use to personalize your emails. From custom name variables you can use to greet customers by their first name to custom templates and more. Let's say that we send a flash sale email to both our domestic and international travelers. Afterwards, we probably want to make sure that email was sent successfully. We're skipping ahead here, just to illustrate the power of code when it comes to managing and scaling email for airlines with SendGrid. By using the event webhook, you could receive the raw data from the delivery event as well as engagement data. You can grab statistics like overall deliverability rate, engagement rates, and bounce rates just by making an API call. All of this data helps you be more in tune with how your passengers are responding to your emails, so you can iterate your content and email strategy to send more relevant, quality emails. You can even do it in real time. Let's say that when we sent that flash sale email, we wanted to see how it was performing in real time. We can do that. Using SendGrid's real-time data tracking, powered by the event webhook, we can monitor email open click-through and bounce rates in real time as we send out that email. Real-time analytics give you tremendous.
All right, so look at that. Thanks for that, Alex. That's really nice. I like your little humble brag of pulling that out there. That doesn't help me though. Actually, I'm gonna steal
it can
one when I'm
help
in
you.
Denver.
It can help you if we ever see each other in person.
We're gonna see each other in person in like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, or July. That's
That's like 3 or 4 months away. March, April, May, June.
that's 5 months away.
Time is a construct. Yeah, we're adding it on. See, listen, this is why people come. They come for the liftoff. They stay for the unboxings. Side note, there's going to be a very cool unboxing experience on March the 20th at an upcoming Level Up. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, just if you came to Alex and my last Level Up, we're bringing even more silliness. Well, also seriousness. We're bringing tech stuff there. But you don't want to miss it. It's literally called unboxing. And so I felt like I needed to do this. I felt like I needed to deliver to you all. Nobody asked for it, but I'm offering it to you anyways. Because that's what we do, right? We don't talk to users. We figure out what features we want, and then we just deliver them. Will we both? So I don't know.
I don't. It depends on if we get to go to Signal. There's a solid chance that we'll be there. We're still ironing out exactly who's going to go to Signal and exactly what's going on there. So it's still in planning phases. Yeah, I think Andrew's got a better chance of getting to San Francisco for that one than I do, but we'll see if I get pulled in at the last minute.
Potentially. Yeah, you never know. Worst case scenario, we're going to see each other in July. But if y'all are watching, by the way, and you're like, what is Signal? Signal is our awesome developer or our awesome conference that we run around the world. But our big one, we're back in San Francisco for the first time. I think we have a discount code that we can
do.
give
I'll find it and throw it in there.
So we're going to show it.
Brent beats me to it.
Yeah. So we've got a discount code. If you want to kind of follow that, you can go and check it out. It's going to be amazing. Working on some of the activations and stuff for that. I think we might actually do like a live watch party at Signal if I can like fit it in of Liftoff. Just like sit for 2 hours with a bunch of people and actually have popcorn. That would actually be fun. I might actually do that. I wonder if I can like rent a theater in San Francisco to just like go watch 2 hours of Liftoffs with like popcorn and put Alex, Bianca, and Sarah all on the stage. Just like sitting there.
Do we need a live reenactment?
I just like fly in the set from Portland.
The set was mostly a white psych.
Fair. All right, Bianca, back to you.
Insight into what's resonating with your audience as you're reaching out to them. If we're sending out an email, we want to be able to receive replies too. So we'll need to set up an inbound parse to be able to receive replies to the emails we send out. To do that, we'll use the inbound parse webhook. The inbound parse webhook allows customer endpoints to receive, assemble, and make sense of replies that passengers send to your email parse domain. If you need a tutorial on how to set that up, no problem. We've got a link for you in the description of this video. Once that's all set, you've got the foundational infrastructure of an email marketing platform. That's huge. Now that we've got the high-level concepts down and the important best practices under our thumb, let's dive into writing some code.
I'm going to find the link.
Now
I
is
got
where
it.
the real
One
fun
moment.
starts. We're going to start writing code.
By the way, double Alex Real life live Alex plus past Alex. What do you think past Alex would say to present Alex if he could say something to you? What would you tell? What would your past self tell your future self, Alex?
See, I feel like it's always the opposite. It's like, what would you tell yourself in the past? What would my past self tell my? So this was filmed in October. Hey man, just relax. You're good.
It's the right call. And what would your future self tell your past self? Just relax.
Hey man, just relax. You're good.
I feel like there's a universal message there. All right, back over to you, old-timey Alex.
Code and testing out the SendGrid email API. As we mentioned at the start of this tutorial, you'll need a SendGrid email API account to send your first test email. You'll also need curl installed on your machine for our demo. If you have a Mac, curl comes standard. So, if you haven't signed up for SendGrid already, or if you need to install curl, now would be a good time to do that.
If you're a developer,
we'll be right
and you do
here
not
when
have
you come
curl
back.
Installed.
If
Are
we
you
were
really
moving
even a
into the big
developer?
leagues and sending email at scale, we need to authenticate the domain that's featured in our sender ID. SendGrid won't let us send out a bunch of emails using an address that SendGrid hasn't vetted yet. We'll need to prove to SendGrid that we're legit and we own the domain we're sending from. We'll
Too
say it
legit
right
to
here,
quit.
this is not a fun or fast process. Your experience and the steps you have to take to verify your domain will depend on who your DNS provider is. For the sake of time, we've already authenticated the domain we're using in this tutorial. But when you're diving into domain authentication, here's what that process might look like for you. We need to set DNS records for our domain. That's how we'll prove we own our domain and we can use it when we send our emails.
Sorry, I'll stop pausing in just a second, but do we not have like a short code for that, like a twill.io? Have we not?
I can
created
make one. Why don't we? I'll make that.
No, we
right
don't need to
now.
make it now. I don't know, but I feel like that's a thing that somebody would have created already.
This
Yeah,
one
well-
specifically for us.
Yeah, no, weird. Okay, anyway, sorry. Back to you, past Alex.
You don't have to know how every aspect of DNS records work. We're just going to go over this for your edification, if you will. DNS records and domain authentication are a bit like having your license and registration when you drive your car. You don't have to know everything about how driver's licenses are made and manufactured, or the database that contains your car's registration. But you do absolutely have to have your license and registration when you drive. Similarly, you need to have your authentication when you send emails. So it's domain authentication time. When we send an email from our domain, SendGrid is going to look for DNS records. We'll need an SPF sender policy framework, which is essentially a list of email addresses that can send an email on behalf of our domain. We'll need a DKIM record, a domain keys and identified mail record, which tells SendGrid and other inbox providers who the IP address that we're using to send emails belongs to. When we send an email, the receiving server, likely the server managing the inbox of our recipient, will go and look up our DKIM record for a public key. That public key should match the signature of the message we're sending. It should say, yep, the person sending this does own that domain. Everything's all right here. SendGrid is also going to look for a DMARC record. This is essentially a text record on our DNS, the place that holds our domain, that stores our DMARC policy. A DMARC policy is a domain-based message authentication reporting and conformance policy. It specifies who can do what with your domain when it comes to email. This was a lot, so check out the video description for some resources that can help you get set up with your specific DNS provider. So, here's how you authenticate your domain.
Have you ever had to like do DNS for like not
I
your
have.
personal thing but work? It's such a
Yeah.
like the whole DMARC thing. It's like it feels like it never ends, and then there's just always another thing you have to do, and it's wild how complicated
I
it is.
literally got an email this morning from Google that I'm not sure is real or not. That's like a DKIM like notification thing. And I use a competitor to SendGrid for like my personal. I do, but I like them because I found them because they also have like a specific. Actually, technically, they do everything that SendGrid does. I have no excuse, except I don't think I can use Twilio for my personal stuff. It's like it ends up being like a conflict of interest.
You
because
can
it's
use Twilio for your personal stuff with your personal accounts.
Yeah. Anyways, but yes, I use an alternative anyways, and I had to set all this stuff up, and it was a nightmare.
I wouldn't set it up twice, so that's enough. Changing is too hard.
Boom. This is it.
Forgive
Done.
you.
Done. No, but I agree. It's a nightmare. It's 100% a nightmare. Back to you, Alex.
Domain in SendGrid. In your SendGrid account, you're going to go to Settings and then Sender Authentication. Click Authenticate your domain, select your DNS host, then type in the domain we want to authenticate. In Advanced Settings, you'll see a checkbox toggled Use Automated Security. We'd recommend leaving that on. SendGrid will help you troubleshoot deliverability and more with that on. We're going to click Next, then we can see CNAME records. We'll copy those records over to our DNS host, click the box to say we're done, and then click Verify, and we're set. Whew, we did it. Now let's get back to the fun stuff, writing code. SendGrid gives developers the freedom to write code in the language they prefer. We have libraries, quick starts, tutorials, and in-depth documentation in virtually every major programming language. For simplicity's sake, we're going to write our test email in curl. So fire up your favorite text editor and let's write code. You'll see in the sample code that we've provided that we're sending a curl request to SendGrid's API. You'll also see we're passing along our API key in the authorization header to let SendGrid know who we are and that we have permission to send this email. We're putting our API key in here directly just for clarity's sake. But as we mentioned, we'd highly recommend.
This is one super random thing that I didn't plan but worked out. The shirt I'm wearing under the other shirt is exactly Twilio ink.
Is it really?
No, I mean, but it looks like it. Don't those look pretty similar to the background right now?
They definitely do, actually. Yeah, 100%.
I was I saw a picture. I was like, oh man, that just, I don't know if they color tweaked it, but it worked too well.
Well done. It's like,
there you go.
It's like the planning that went into this. Spectacular.
It's a lot. Yeah. Anyways.
Storing it as an environment variable to be called on in code, as opposed to putting it directly in your code. We've specified that this is a JSON app, and we've added personalization too. You'll see that we're passing along the fields that we're so used to seeing in an email. There's the To field, which is the recipient of the email, and the recipient's name to make sure the email is personalized. For the subject line, we've kept things on brand, and instead of using Hello World, we've written Hello Traveler. For the content field, we've said, hey there, we're using code to share the news about our amazing flight deals. Book now to secure your seat. And for the From email, we'll use the one that we verified earlier. And I'll list my name as Liftoff because that's the name of this course. For our reply address, we'll put the email we want people to reply to. Let's save the file and run it from the command line. Now, let's check our email and see if we received it. And we did. We sent an email from the command line. That's huge. Our API powers are getting stronger. To dial things up even further, let's see what else we can do with SendGrid when it comes to scaling email and personalizing content.
Here's a pop quiz. That email we just wrote, was it a transactional email or a marketing email? We might be thinking, who cares? Our code works and the email made it to our inbox. But while we can celebrate our code working, we also have to think long term. Remember when we talked about our reputation score for email being essential, like a credit score? Well, knowing the difference between marketing emails and transactional emails can drastically affect our reputation score. Marketing emails traditionally have a much lower.
So RJS, does the subject have to be the same for each of the emails of this address, or can you customize it in bulk sense? I'm almost positive that you can customize the. You're muted, but I'm almost positive you can customize the everything.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, basically there's it's like handlebars in everything. So there it is. He did it this time. Yeah, so it basically ends up being just it's pulling in variables that you're feeding into it. And yeah, you can totally customize it in bulk emails, which is fantastic.
Engagement rate. So that can impact their deliverability. Mailbox providers might see a marketing email from an airline and say, hey, no one really clicked on this email advertising a weekend getaway deal. Man, people really should travel more. Still, I, the mailbox provider, might not bump this up to the top of the inbox. I also might take note of the IP address that sent this email and keep a watchful eye on them. It's not great that their engagement rates are so low. They must not have a good email reputation score. Now, if that scenario was unbelievable to you because you travel frequently and open every email from your airline, we applaud your wanderlust. But we would once again underscore the importance of email reputation. Many businesses use separate IP addresses for their transactional emails from their marketing emails in order to protect their reputation, knowing marketing emails may draw lower engagement and their transactional emails are likely to draw higher engagement. What exactly is a transactional email? It's an email triggered by a user's action, typically sent through an automated process. For example, if you just booked a flight to surprise your family, Owl Air might send you a transactional email with details about their new online portal, where you can manage your booking and check in for flights. When you create an account on Owl Air's online portal and use your email to log in, you'll probably receive a transactional email confirming that your account was set up successfully. This email is directly relevant to you, arrives at just the right time, and contains important information needed to use the portal. It has all the key features of a transactional email. So, let's rewind a bit and ask, was the email we sent from the command line transactional or marketing? One good way to find out is to ask what kicked off the email. In
I feel
our
like
case,
this is actually
we wrote
like
some
super
beautiful
valuable
code.
information because
We
the first
also
time I
wrote
heard
some very nice
transactional
email
email, I was
copy,
like, what?
and then
what is
we
that?
decided to
That-
essentially
that
press
seems
send.
like a marketing
Only
email.
we did it in a much cooler way by running the code from the command line. In this context, odds are we've written a marketing email. There are two tells here. First, we're inviting the passenger to do something. In our email, we said, "Hey there, we've used code to share the news about our amazing flight deals. Book now and secure your seat." That line, "book now to secure your seat," is calling our customer to action, as a marketing email from an airline might call a passenger to action by saying, "Don't miss out on these special fares." A call to action is always key. Secondly, this email was sent by us, not triggered by any sort of automation. So that's a sign that we are sending information related to some sort of business need or a campaign we're running. In other words, we're marketing to our customers. Whether you're sending marketing or transactional emails to customers, you want to go a bit further than just addressing them as customer. If you're out walking your dog and someone calls out customer, you're not going to turn around. If they call out your first name, you will. Why? Because personalization counts. It captures and keeps customers' attention. SendGrid gives you powerful tools for sending personalized emails at scale. You can craft different email templates to use for specific groups of customers, making sure your email designs are tailored to the type of content you're sending and the group you're sending it to. When you're welcoming a customer to your business, you might use a template that has the look and feel of a personal letter from the CEO. When a customer upgrades their account or reaches a milestone with your business, you might have a GIF-filled celebratory email template for the occasion. Templates make sure that you're not reinventing the wheel every time you need to send an email. You can also pass along arguments to really make your content dynamic and personalized. For example, let's say that we're writing an email that
there's
went
the
out to
answer,
passengers
RJ,
after they
for your
booked
question.
flights with Owl Air. We'd need some sort of way to populate their itinerary in the body of our email. We could do that using arguments. We could define and pass flight details and passenger information as arguments and say the following. All of those arguments will trigger variables to be passed from our database into the email, so the passenger we're sending the email to sees their exact booking reflected in the email. You can pass along custom arguments as well, defining variables and how you'd like them to tie together or affect one another. The choice is yours.
Now, let's fast forward a bit. Let's say our email operations for Owl Air are rocking and rolling. We're expanding our routes, we're flying to new destinations, we've got tons of passengers, and we've got a lot of email addresses from those passengers. We've been organizing these passengers into well thought out segments so we can send tailored, personalized emails that are relevant to their travel preferences. We're so adept that we can send an email out solely to our first-class loving travelers in Seattle who frequently fly to Tokyo. That's the power of a well-segmented email list. So, all of this is great, but how do we know if our email campaigns are working? That seems like something we'd like to track, and we can with SendGrid. Let's say that our group of first-class travelers all open our emails. How will we know who clicked on the link to book a flight? With SendGrid's link tracking, we can use a branded link to see which passengers clicked and when. SendGrid enables us to track click and open rates out of the box, so we can see how our customers are reacting to our emails. We can also use pixel tracking to get even more granular data. And of course, we always want to give our customers a way to easily subscribe or unsubscribe to our emails, which could be done with subscription tracking. If we want to see a historical report of all our email activity in one place, SendGrid offers email activity reporting, so you can get all your vital email information with a few clicks. Now, if we wanted to get all that data in a different way, we can use an event webhook. Once we have a URL ready to accept SendGrid's post requests, we can add an event webhook in our SendGrid UI dashboard. This event webhook essentially reports on the actions that we instruct it to in our mail settings in the SendGrid dashboard. So we can dictate that we want the event webhook to report on data like email opens, click-throughs, unsubscribes, spam reports, and more. It's a super helpful tool to have on deck and to use to get the data we need to dial in our email efforts. And there's always room to dial in our emails.
There's a virtuous cycle between our email data and our customers' actions. The more we dig through our email data and make observations like, oh, customers loved when we used this tone and this style of subject line, but they didn't really like this other template we tried out, the more we learn impactful lessons about our customers' preferences. When we adapt our email content, design, and campaigns to match our customers' preferences, our emails are opened more. There's a higher click-through rate, there's more engagement, and all of that engagement improves our email reputation score, which makes it more likely that our emails will reach their intended destination every time. The work we put in to serve our customers pays dividends to our business, whether we're seeing customers in person or greeting them in some of the most valuable real estate there is, their inbox. We're so happy to have you here, learning all the best practices when it comes to email, and we hope that you'll continue along with us as you start your journey into email marketing with SendGrid.
So what do you think, everybody? I feel like this one is actually probably, of all of the ones that we put out, is like the most accessible. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, there's so much rich information in this one that is like just generally beneficial to know, that if you've never done this email stuff, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Plus, I am very much realizing that, like, I was just, as that video was going, I was trying to find this client that I was talking about, this like random iOS email client. And there are so many different email options that are out there for like clients, for services that send emails and stuff like that as well. So I feel like if you can keep it all in one account, at least, I feel like there's something easier there.
It's emails, just like everyone's got a different way of doing it. It's like, so it's just hard.
Yeah. This is it, right? Like, RJ, like, I definitely feel this kind of same way, right? Like, it ends up being this, it's like a deep dive into things. Somebody asked me on the Twilio team, they're like, so are these videos for developers? And I was like, absolutely they are, but they're also for anybody that's just like interested in knowing more about like how to secure things, how to send messages, like different. I didn't realize that OTT was a type of message.
Over the top.
Like, I did not realize that that was actually like a real thing.
Yeah. Those are like the different messages you can get kind of like on Wi-Fi as opposed to like over the network.
Yeah. By the way, if you are interested, I'm going to share this on all destinations. If you're interested in learning more about what OTT and all the rest of that is about, you can go to twill.io/liftoff messaging. I'm going to put it up on the screen, but I'm also going to put it in chat. And I think I got it here. So yeah, you can watch, not this video on demand. You can watch Liftoff messaging. Let me create a new banner here. Watch Liftoff messaging at twill.io/liftoff messaging. You're going to notice some trends here, everybody. So there, twill.io/liftoff messaging. If you want to watch this video on demand and you're like, oh, that was really interesting, and you're not sure where to find it, you can probably guess it's going to be very similar setup. You're just going to go to twill.io/liftoff email. You can watch this live. There's actually a secret link that I'm not going to share with you, but you could probably find it if you tried, like, not that hard, to find the entire playlist of all of these videos. It's not public, but if you are kind of looking at this and you're like, dash email gets you to email and dash messaging gets you to messaging, you might be able to find like what the thing that's going to get you to the playlist is. So just throwing it out there for anybody who is interested. Definitely go and check that out. Weirdly, like on a totally different topic, a bunch of random folks have just showed up now. We got like a bunch of people that just kind of arrived onto the stream over on Twitch. So somebody must have raided us, which I love. I love when people raid just like random channels. So if you're watching us over on Twitch, welcome. You've arrived just at the very end, but that's okay because you can watch this entire stream here on Twitch, but also you can watch the video. It's the link is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Oh, and this is also making me realize I didn't post about this on our Discord. That's on me.
Oh no.
It's all right. Next time I'll have it for next week. Speaking of our Discord, if you're looking to find our Discord, similar structure here.
RJ knows the trick.
You know the trick. If you go to twill.io/liftoff-discord, you will be able to find things and the amazing stream elements. Has also got it up here. You can also just go to this link, which is easier for you to remember, twill.io/liftoff-discord or discord.gg/HS capital X XXC capital T. I know. But definitely go and check it out. And if you are brand new and you have no idea where you've arrived because like whoever you were watching just like rated us, you've arrived at our Twilio Liftoff watch party. Don't worry, because if you are watching Twitch at like noon or YouTube at noon on a Friday, we're going to be back next week, or I'll be back next week. Actually from a different location, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be over in Vancouver because I'm filming something unrelated to work on Thursday. And then I'm just going to kind of hang out in Vancouver. So you're going to get to see me in the beautiful quality that is delivered by my portable camera setup. And we're going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to bring my I'm going to bring a good mic though. That's the one thing. People don't care about seeing my face, but they do care about hearing my beautiful, beautiful voice. Yeah.
Again, you're paid by the word.
I'm paid by the word. So, if you enjoyed this, let us know. Join us over on the Discord. Let us know. We've got a channel in Discord that is labeled Liftoff. Jump in there, ask questions, provide feedback. We want to be able to talk to you over there. That's what the Discord is for you to ask us questions. It's there to have conversations as well. It's not like a support station, but go and check that out. Also, Alex, folks should be staying tuned for some stuff on your side as well. I know A/B testing on Tuesday. Do we know who we're going to be seeing on Tuesday yet, or is it a surprise?
It is not a surprise. We're going to see Noah Mogul. Noah is he's on the emerging technology team, and he's going to be building out some AI assistant stuff and showing that and just talking because he's a cool dude. And then I know on Thursday, we also have the developer lens with Chef Brent and Tofrog, aka Chris. So that's Thursday. Both of those streams are on the Twilio Devs channel, where you are now, maybe. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. For me, noon. I'm in Mountain Time. And then we've got another YouTube show coming out that fingers crossed, is going to be ready to premiere next week. So keep your eye out for that too.
I love it. And also other content that's coming up. I'm going to share something on my screen, but this March, so like next month around this time, we're going to be launching a brand new stream series. I didn't want to launch it around the same time that Alex was going live with his new series and that Brent was going live. I didn't want to steal all the thunder away from them with my new series. But Rishab and I are going to be kicking off Build a Blog or Blog the Builder, whichever you want to call it, next month. So stay tuned for that. But
what day of the week's that going to be on?
It's going to be Wednesdays, actually. I think that's the plan right now. It's going to be like Wednesday.
3 days in a row of Twilio content every week.
Let's go. That's what we're going for. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like, honestly, I feel like that's what we need. And actually, I might keep doing this time slot on Fridays. I like it. I might find something else. Maybe we'll just do watch parties of like content from the week. Friday, we will review content from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's kind of fantastic.
Best of stream.
There you go. Or just the of stream. Depends on the week, I suppose. But the other thing that I just want to draw everybody's attention to is on excuse me, next week on Thursday, and I'm just going to zoom out here. We're going to be hosting the Builderware's Twilio. If you get that reference, gold star. It's going to be an amazing webinar. It's going to feature Bianca. It's going to feature Alex, and then Noah, who you'll see next week, and Sean, who I think you might have seen in the past. But go and check this out.
I don't think he's been on our stream before.
Maybe not. So you're going to get to see all these amazing people. It's going to be an awesome builder lab. Happens at 10 a.m. Pacific, like 11 a.m. Mountain Time, like 1 p.m. Eastern. It is going to be a really good webinar. I've gotten the behind the scenes on it. And it's the first of a special project, which I won't name, that we're trying to give y'all a little bit of a journey to follow with us. So we've got a level up and a brand new Twilio Forge, which is the new branding for Buildathon, that are all kind of themed around the same idea. And so if you're interested in that, go and check it out. All of them are great, but definitely check out mine because, like I said, there's going to be a cool unboxing thing.
Quick shout out to Chef Brent, who actually did post about this stream in Discord, so it was there.
Let's go, Chef Brent, on his day off, nonetheless.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
The dream work. So, and also, by the way, if you go and check out developers.twilio.com, that is sort of like the developer hub for our webinar platform. So like, check that out. There are some other things coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for that as well. But lots of exciting content. If you want to stay up to date, go over to twill.io/liftoff-discord. And again, I'm going to throw this up on the screen. If you want to check out the Liftoff video that we saw today, I'm going to flash it up on the screen here for a second. Just get rid of our faces for a second and put Sarah up here. If you want to check out the Twilio Liftoff and Learn email, go and check that out. And if you're not sure where you are right now, I really wanted to use these overlay cards. This is what you just missed. But don't worry.
Go back to that picture for a second. This one's a funny one because the rest of the picture is great. Sarah's significantly shorter than us, but we put her on some boxes so she would look at our height, and we had a lot of fun with this photo shoot.
That's fantastic. Hold on. Hold the phone. I feel like what's really cool here is I want to get this up here, and I'm going to pull down the overlay. So that's our background, but I'm pretty sure if I do this, Alex appears on Alex.
Whoa!
Let's go. Hold on.
I gotta get really zoomed in there.
Can you get
really
your head really close?
Work.
I'm just going to make us a tiny bit bigger here and save this. Let's see. Oh, no, hold on. I just need to make us a little bit bigger. Just stay with us, folks. This is the part of the show that you really want to be here for. Save, update layout. All right, there we go. We got there.
Oh, you're Sarah now.
I gotta get like really close as well. I feel like Sarah and I are also rocking some pretty solid glasses game together, so I'm okay. I'm very here for that. And then just Bianca looking at us like we're nuts.
Not wrong.
That tracks.
Not wrong.
That tracks. So with all of that said, this is a watch party, and we have watched, we have chatted, we have shared some resources.
We partied.
We had Alex here. We might, who knows, maybe we'll get some other folks on as we're going through. And stay tuned. There's going to be an announcement coming out pretty soon for a special 2-hour watch party. Yeah, we're all just going to take the day off work and watch Twilio stuff. We're going to be doing some giveaways there. I'm hoping to launch a new thing that's part of this series as well. But either way, it's going to be an awesome party. We're going to be giving away some swag kits because I've got like a lot of them. So we're going to be giving those away. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for more information on that. And of course, for all things Twilio. Alex, you are the guest for this week. Any final words for our amazing folks that came to watch us for our watch party?
This was a lot of fun to make, and I'm really glad that you guys are finally getting to see it. It was the first time that Bianca, Sarah, and I got to go together. I think it's the first time I've like shot something on a set before. And it felt really fancy. It felt very fancy to do. You know, you got the lab mics and the lighting and a crew there. It was super cool, and I'm really glad that everyone gets to enjoy it now too. It's been a really fun experience to make these, and I'm happy to share them.
Amazing. There'll be a new one. We got 2 more to come out. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but they're going to drop next Wednesday is our next one. So stay tuned over on YouTube for that. Give it a watch, give it a like, give it a share. If you're watching this and you want to share on social media, hashtag Twilio Liftoff, give us some love. And otherwise, I want to say, Alex, thank you so much for being here. And to all of you who stuck around with us and watched our stream today, thank you for being here. Thanks for giving up a little bit of your day. Thanks for being part of our community. Be a bigger part of it. Join our Discord server. We're not trying to sell you anything. We just want to provide you a space there. So come on, say hello. Yeah, I'm going to throw on our trailer one last time just to get you all psyched up for this. And then we're going to call it a day. So from all of us to all of you, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Twilio Devs.
Every day, billions of people connect through calls, texts, and emails. And behind each conversation is a Twilio API that powers it.
With Twilio's APIs, we can build powerful communication tools with just a few lines of code.
But the power to send messages at scale comes with great responsibility.
In Liftoff messaging, you'll learn to send messages across SMS and WhatsApp.
With Liftoff Voice, we'll help you build voice applications from simple call centers to full-service contact centers.
Liftoff email will show you how to create engaging campaigns that land in the inbox.
And in Liftoff user authentication and identity, you'll learn how to keep your users' accounts secure.
Each Liftoff video gives you production-ready code examples and real-world applications. Welcome to Twilio Liftoff.